Good afternoon, teacher. Good afternoon, classmates. My name is Jhaydhen Jhaydhen. I am 7 years old. I live in Sidra Russell, Kaima. Today we are going to learn about the immune system and the immune system cells and how they function. The immune system is a complex network of organs, cells, and proteins that defend the body against infections while protecting the body's own cells. Lymph nodes. Here are the lymph nodes, a small bean-shaped structure that is a part of the body's immune system. Lymph nodes filter substance that travel through the lymphatic fluid, and they contain lymphocytes, white blood cells that help the body fight infections, diseases. There are hundreds of lymph nodes found throughout the body. The thymus gland is a small organ. It lies in the upper chest, which is here, and upper chest under the breastbones. It makes white blood cells called lymphocytes, which protect the body against infections. The spleen controls the level of white blood cells, red blood cells, and platelets, small cells that form blood clots. It screens the blood and remove any old or damaged red blood cells. Imagine you were in the park and you cut yourself. A bacteria or virus or other microorganism called pathogen can cause diseases. Imagine this is your wound and millions of bacteria entered. The millions of bacteria go around exploring their new home. And then the cells that survive the impact or are hurt or dying scream in panic, releasing an onslaught of chemical alarm systems. Here are the first cells to arrive at the battlefield: macrophages. After seconds, the large cells attack and they stretch out arms like an octopus and grab the bacteria to swallow them whole and digest them alive. A macrophage can eat 100 bacteria before it's totally exhausted. Hundreds of neutrophils pick up their signals and move to the battlefield. Neutrophils are intense suicide warriors who can protect you. They swallow the bacteria, or because they are so enthusiastic of killing, they kill themselves a few days after birth. As soon as neutrophils arrive, they begin vomiting deadly chemicals at them or devour them. They're so careless in their attacks, they are causing collateral damage to your own cells, or I said earlier. Some neutrophils go so far to push the suicide button and explode, casting wide and deadly toxins made from their own DNA, which trap and kill bacteria. Your bloodstream lets fluids stream into the battlefield like a dam opening up to a river. You notice this as information. This part swells up a bit and becomes red and warm. The bloodstream brings a silent killer to the battlefield. Millions of complement proteins, which rips holes into things until they die. The bloodstream carries a silent killer into the battlefield. Millions of complement proteins. They rip holes in things until they die. See? This is the bacteria which was here, and then it got ripped the holes. While your soldiers were bashing in hits, the dendritic cell was collecting samples of bacteria and covering itself in it, like a soldier decorating itself in the guts of a dead enemy. The cell leaves the battlefield and the superhighway of the immune system, lymph veins. See, this is what we're going to see. Helper T cells. T cells are an all-purpose commander cell in your immune headquarters. They can activate two immune cells, the ones we already see, the macrophage and the B cells, the antibody factories. This dendritic cell is not looking for any helper T cell, a T cell which has the right weapon against the bacteria that infected your wound. So it goes around and rubs itself, still covered in bacteria parts. After all the helper T cell it needs. Most T cells are a bit disgusted and not interested. Something clicks. After a few seconds, something clicks. A helper T cell recognizes this kind of antigen. This is the cell that the dendritic cell needs now. The dendritic cell is overjoyed and activates the helper T cell. After the activated helper T cell begins to clone itself. T cells clones itself. 1 becomes 2, 2 become 4, 4 become 8, until there are thousands of them. Now they split up in 2 groups. One quickly moves to help out your soldiers. At the battlefield, things are getting out of hand. A tired macrophage is ready to give up. After fighting for days, it just wants to go to sleep, like many of its buddies have done already. But the helper T cells arrive. Now the helper T cells arrive. that T cells whisper something to the macrophage using special chemicals. And also the macrophage has another name, phagocytes. The demoralized soldier feels fresh again. But there's something else, a hot white anger. That macrophage knows what it needs to do, kill. So it throws the enemy itself back to the enemies. All over the battlefield, this begins to happen. While the other group of T cells were looking to activate another one of your defenses, B cells, your antibody factories. T cells and B cells are cells needed for any virus or bacteria, and then B cells are antibody factories. A day or two, the right B cell is found and begins to clone itself until enough clones have been made. These little things are antibodies. Looks like little crabs with two pincers to grab and stun enemies. See? After the right B cell is found, a day or two, it begins cloning itself. Until enough clones have been made, each B cell begins pumping out 1,000 antibodies per second. And then the tiny army begins saturating the battlefield, pinching and stunning desperate bacteria, while your soldiers massacre the defenseless victims. The tide is turning fast. After the last enemies are cleaned up, your soldiers realize they are no longer needed and begin to kill themselves. Not all of them. Some B cells and T cells remain and turn into memory T cells and B cells. The same what I said earlier, B cells will turn into memory B cells and keep pumping out a low amount of antibodies, making you immune from this virus, maybe for the rest of your life. But you know that in this video, and after a few days, the cut has been nothing but a fake red mark. Thank you, teacher and classmates, for listening to my presentation of my third quarter learning milestone, and see you again in my next learning video. Bye! And have fun!